Hi everyone, I'm outside today wanting to drop by and say hello. Trying to be outside a little bit before it gets so blazingly hot outside. I wanted to drop by and check in with you and see how you're doing and ask if there's anything that you need. If there is, please remember to call me at 847-293-1108 and we can chat and talk about things that are going on in your life. I do have quite a few reminders of this week that I want to bring to your attention. So here we go. The first one is that we are having our Passing of the Peace photos this week wearing red, white, and blue. Please send those to me by 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. We're wearing red, white, and blue because we're celebrating our nation's independence, and we all know what has gone into our nation being a place where we have the privilege of being free. But please do not wear anything that is a depiction of the American flag in your photo. The clothing and those items that are made with the American flag insignias on them, that is actually against the United States Flag Code, and I want to be respectful of that. Unless you are active military, then if you are active military and you want to send us a picture for Passing of the Peace, we would love to see your picture. You are allowed to wear the insignia of the flag, and so we honor and respect that also. Please try to send me your Passing of the Peace photos by 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I'll be spending 4th of July putting that video together, and I hope that we could have a lot of folks respond to this. You can text me your picture, or you can send it to me at my email address or the church's email address, and we will try our hardest to make sure we don't miss anyone and get the picture in for this weekend. I also want to remind you that in these next few days, it's going to be getting extremely warm outside. Very hot and very humid, in the 90s. It's supposed to be in the next few days. So please be careful in this heat. Please stay in the house and be cool in your air conditioning. If you have any issues where air conditioning goes out or anything like that and you need some help, please call us and we will see what we can do to try and bring some relief in that situation. By now you have received the letter from the council, where the council and I had a lot of discussion about the idea that we can open up the church, but our limitations at St. Paul are so great and filled with so much stress and tension about all the rules that we have to adhere to make sure that everyone is safe, that right now we all thought that it was best that if we take our time in reopening in a way that has no time limit on it. Reopening would mean it would be very limited in space for services. People would be excluded. Reopening would mean that there would be so many steps that you would have to take as you came through the door, such as having your temperature taken and signing a waiver of release, making sure you leave your mask on, making sure that you sit 6 feet away from every person that is in the building, making sure that you don't touch one another unless you are already a couple together. Lots of restrictions go into this, and so right now the best way that we can be together, make sure that everyone is safe, and make sure that we have as many folks together as we possibly can at once, is to continue to do worship virtually. And as we do worship virtually, I want to invite you to please make that a priority on Sunday mornings, to be in worship with us and with one another. We made the conscious decision that we would do live worship services rather than pre-recorded worship services, so that we could all be in that moment together, so that we could all be together in worship, joining our hearts and minds in those moments together. And I'm very thankful to tell you that this week, Steve has figured out, through his ability to understand technology, he has figured out how to go live on YouTube at the exact same time we're going live on Facebook. So if you're not connected to us through Facebook Live, but you do have internet connection and you watch our videos on YouTube later in the day, it's actually possible for you this week to join in at 9:30 for our worship on YouTube Live. Now, I do have to hold out that caveat that this will be the first time we'll be doing this, so there could be some trouble with that. There could be some technological difficulties we haven't foreseen yet. So please be patient with us. But all of this is to say that we're trying to create every possible avenue that we can so that we can be in worship together all the time, so that all of us can be together in worship and have these avenues where, even though we are connected in spirit this way and physically disconnected, we are still together. We want to be together with everyone. Given that idea that we want to be together with everyone, we're trying to develop some new ways to be together virtually. So Real People is going to meet virtually this month. There is a new men's group that has formed, and Craig Jarva is doing a great job with that. You can call Craig and you can ask him about being a part of the men's group if you would like to be a part of that. We're having a get to know you class. Some folks were just beginning to visit us at St. Paul as COVID happened and we had to physically separate, but we do want to get to know one another a little bit better. So we're having a get to know you class. You can come to that if you're new to St. Paul or if you've been there for 50 years. There might be some information that is given in that class that you haven't heard before. It's also a good way to find out some of the answers that you might need for St. Paul Summer Trivia every Wednesday of the month of July and August. So those are just some ways that we're trying to stay connected with one another. Yesterday at Prayer Chapel, which is another great way to stay connected, it was brought to my attention that one of the most important things for us to do right now is to practice joy. We learn to practice our religion, we learn to practice our prayers, we learn to practice lots of different disciplines in our lives, but oftentimes we forget to practice joy. And by that, it's meant to actively seek out joy in this world, to actively look for the things that bring us joy in the world. That's one of the reasons why I'm coming to you from outside of my house today, because out here you can see I have this vast sort of garden. This is grasses and a new tree that I bought from Jill Dawson at her landscape place. And there's a garden behind there that we hope will grow tomatoes at some point. This brings me joy. And just sitting out here listening to the birds that you can hear behind me. We've put up bird feeders this year to attract more birds. Just sitting out here is a way that I'm actively seeking out being in joy. And so I encourage you, as we continue to walk through this very unique time, not only in our church's history, but in our nation's history, I encourage you to actively seek out the things that bring you joy. I know that one of the things that really brings me joy is not only being in this garden, but knowing that when we're doing worship here in our home on Sunday morning, that you are out there in Cyberland with us, that you are connecting heart to heart, spirit to spirit, through the means of technology that we've been given. Modern technology is a wonder, and it is what is helping us to remain this strong, vital community. Look for different announcements coming up in July about ways that we are strengthening our community by being in mission with one another and having what we're calling Birch Church, these opportunities to be online with others in different ways. All of that is the ways that we are building our community together, and I'm so glad we're on this journey together. If you're feeling a little lost, if you're feeling a little down, know that that is normal. That's what we're all going through right now. And if you need to talk, please give me a call at 847-293-1108. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a safe and happy 4th of July. And I hope to see you in worship on Sunday. We know that you're there by viewer count, so I hope to see you there. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. Bye.